Latest update: Gansu earthquake claims nearly 1,000 casualties, authority rejects external aid. China's economy 3-0 phenomenon by famous economist goes viral. Response to Xi Jinping's no lying flat warning, Chinese youth launch unique resistance. It's all covered in today's China Truths. Latest update: Gansu earthquake claims nearly 1,000 casualties, authority rejects external aid. Starting with the ongoing updates on the devastating 6.2 magnitude earthquake in Jishishan County, Lingsha City, Gansu Province. According to the official statement released by the Chinese Communist Party, the death toll has now risen to 127, with an additional 20 people missing and over 700 injured. More than 150,000 buildings have been damaged. Concerns have been voiced by the public, questioning whether the actual number of casualties far surpasses the figures officially announced. NTD television reports that numerous accounts from local residents in Jishishan County indicate that their homes have completely collapsed and are no longer suitable for habitation. However, they have not yet received genuine rescue assistance. They had to set up tents at their doorstep, lit numerous fires, and children and the elderly sat in to keep warm as the nighttime temperatures dropped below -10 degrees Celsius. In the Qinghai Province, specifically in the town of Chaotan, Zhongchuan Township, Min County, the earthquake has already resulted in 7 households, with a total of 19 people buried. Mr. Yu, a resident of Gansu Province, expressed that the earthquake has caused a serious disaster, citing factors such as the poor seismic performance of the houses at the epicenter. The earthquake occurred at midnight, and this area is particularly remote and relatively impoverished. The houses are made of mud, very simple in structure. The current temperature is extremely low, below freezing. Mr. Yu believes there may be significant casualties. Earthquake-triggered mudslides submerged Qinghai villages, suspected high casualties. The disaster has not ended there. The earthquake continues to trigger an abrupt and unforeseen landslide that submerged Jintian village in Haidong City, Qinghai Province. Numerous houses were swept away, and many residents found themselves trapped in the mud. Compounding the tragedy is the delayed rescue operation, fueling speculation that the casualties could be even more substantial. The video depicting Jintian village submerged in mud has heightened concerns, with many netizens expressing shock, remarking, "There's almost no chance of survival, similar to drowning." Zhuizhou disaster reappear? Gansu authority rejects external aid. In the backdrop of heavy casualties and a looming sense of desperation engulfing the region hit by the earthquake disaster in Gansu, reports have emerged indicating that the Gansu authorities swiftly rejected offers of external civilian rescue assistance during the crucial Golden Rescue period, similar to the rejection of foreign aid observed during the recent floods in Zhuizhou. According to reports from the CCP's official media on the 19th, the Gansu Province Earthquake Relief Command and the Emergency Management Department declared an urgent need for a significant quantity of generators, cotton coats, cotton tents, safe stove fuel, food, and other winter supplies in the disaster area. However, the emergency department discouraged the independent deployment of social rescue forces from other provinces and cities. The suspicious similarity in the approach of the Gansu authorities to that of Zhuizhou's government in the past has sparked widespread skepticism in the community that the CCP is once again attempting to conceal the true extent of the disaster. In August of this year, during the extensive flooding in Hebei, authorities disclosed only 29 deaths. However, in Zhuizhou alone, local residents estimated the death toll to be in the thousands. Now, just half a day after the Gansu earthquake, officials announced over 100 deaths, raising concerns about the actual magnitude of the death toll. Amid tense, Taiwan's president extends a helping hand in the wake of Gansu earthquake. While the Chinese government is taking actions to conceal the earthquake disaster in Gansu, as it has done numerous times before, Taiwanese President Tsai Ing-wen has immediately conveyed condolences to the affected people and extended an offer of assistance to Beijing. According to Reuters, the Taiwanese fire department has reported that a search and rescue team, consisting of 160 personnel, 4 dogs, and 13 tons of supplies, has been formed and is prepared to go to China as needed. However, the CCP has not yet responded to whether any overseas rescue teams will be allowed to enter the country. This recent earthquake in Gansu is considered the most serious in China in 9 years. In August 2014, an earthquake in Yunnan province resulted in 617 deaths. It's worth noting that Taiwan itself is frequently affected by seismic disasters, and Tsai Ing-wen has extended condolences multiple times following disasters on the mainland, including last year's earthquake in Sichuan province. In 2008, after the major earthquake in Wenchuan, Sichuan, with a magnitude of 7.9, Taiwan also sent a rescue team to China. That earthquake caused nearly 70,000 deaths and extensive damage. China's economy 3-0 phenomenon by famous economist goes viral. Recently, a video of the famous Chinese economist Gailong analyzing the current economic situation in China was circulated in Chinese online communities. In the video, Gailong straightforwardly pointed out at the beginning that China's economy might genuinely transform into an island economy and be compelled to embrace internal circulation due to several key data in the external circulation essentially returning to zero in today's China. He discussed the following 3 aspects of China's economic development, which seem to be trending toward returning to zero, and urged the public to be highly vigilant about this. Firstly, people tend to zero. Gailong noted that before the large-scale outbreak of the new coronavirus pandemic in the first quarter of 2019, over 3.7 million people traveled to China from abroad. However, in the first quarter of 2023, only 52,000 people visited, representing a 98.6% drop from the same period in 2017. Among the 52,000 inbound tourists, 56% were from Hong Kong and 22% were from Macau, indicating only about 10,000 real foreigners from other countries. Gailong finds this situation extremely unimaginable for a country with the 3rd largest land area globally. The decline in foreign visitors not only signifies a collapsed inbound tourism industry chain but also suggests that China might regress into a state of isolation where few people care about it, reminiscent of the 1970s. The difference is that this time, it's not that we don't let others come, but that others don't come themselves. He commented, "We are often worried about the withdrawal of foreign investment. In fact, more significant than the withdrawal of foreign investment is that foreign customers have stopped coming altogether. They have gone to Mexico, Vietnam, India, and Indonesia." Secondly, flights approaching zero. Before the pandemic, there were more than 3,800 flights between China and the United States every month, with an average of more than 100 flights a day. Now there are only 4 to 6 direct flights between China and the United States every day, basically zero. Gailong specifically pointed out, over the past 70 years, 70% of China's total foreign trade surplus came from the United States. You can think about it, in an environment without war or plague, there are only 4 to 6 flights between China and the United States every day. What does it mean? Thirdly, money tends to zero. Statistics show that in the first quarter of last year, foreign direct investment in China was $101.2 billion. In the second quarter of this year, foreign investment in Chinese enterprises was only $4.9 billion, which is the lowest since the Southeast Asian financial crisis in 1998. Another data is, in 2023, only 8 foreign currency funds have been raised in China, compared with 114 in the same period last year and 792 in the same period the year before last. In the first half of 2023, China-focused private equity funds raised only $1.4 billion. Compared with the nearly $50 billion in the first half of 2021, this data is also basically approaching zero. Gailong concluded that the flow of people, logistics, and capital are the 3 cores of economic development. The exact reason why the above-mentioned external key data have shrunk to zero needs to be analyzed clearly. If it is caused by the pandemic, there will still be opportunities for correction and adjustment, but if it is caused by trade war and political friction, it means that the Chinese economy has already undergone a long-term structural reversal trend, and that may really be the problem of the generation. The burden is unbearable. Finally, he emphasized again, China has been one of the biggest beneficiaries of globalization in the past few decades, and more than 60% of China's production capacity is prepared for the external market. If China takes the path of isolation internally and externally, and China's economy once again becomes an island economy, the consequences will be disastrous. If fundamental changes cannot be made, we will suffer big losses that will be difficult to make up for. Currently, all contents on Gailon's Weibo account have been cleared. Response to Xi Jinping's no lying flat warning, Chinese youth launch unique resistance. The Chinese economy is currently facing a downturn marked by fierce internal competition and a scarcity of job opportunities. Compounding these challenges, the extensive surveillance and control measures implemented by the CCP government have instilled a sense of uncertainty about the future among the youth. Despite CCP leader Xi Jinping's warning against lying flat, many young individuals are engaging in various forms of resistance. Some are contemplating leaving the country. According to United Nations statistics, as China's economy advanced, the net migration figure dropped to 125,000 people in 2012. However, in the first 11 months of 2023, the net migration rebounded to over 310,000 people. Take Li Jiejia, a 24-year-old working at a tech startup in Beijing, for instance. While employed, she perceives her job as lacking innovation and is unwilling to pursue corporate advancement, especially as high-paying tech positions in China dwindle. The pervasive influence of the CCP government in daily life adds to the feeling of stiflement. Now, Li simply dreams of a better life abroad and buys lottery tickets as a symbolic gesture, acknowledging the slim chance of winning. She expresses a desire to escape and live life on her terms. Data from China's job-seeking social platforms reveals that approximately 34% of respondents in their early 20s considered or resigned from jobs in the internet industry in the first half of 2023, a significant employer for young people. The inclination of young individuals in their 20s and 30s towards buying lottery tickets has contributed to China's lottery sales reaching $67 billion from January to October, a 53% increase from the previous year. The quest for spiritual fulfillment. An increasing number of individuals are leaving conventional jobs to explore meditation and various spiritual pursuits. Some are relocating from major Chinese cities, seeking new lives in places like Dali. Others find solace in fortune-telling booths and Buddhist temples nestled in the mountains, immersing themselves in philosophies from both Eastern and Western thinkers, such as Laozi to Hermann Hesse. Hermann Hesse, a renowned German-Swiss poet, novelist, and painter, is celebrated for works like Damien, Steppenwolf, Siddhartha, and The Glass Bead Game, which delve into an individual's quest for authenticity, self-knowledge, and spirituality. Returning to the primary topic, some Chinese youth are organizing resignation parties, raising banners to celebrate the newfound freedom they've discovered. Data from the research firm Big One Lab indicates a significant increase in social media discussions about temple visits and anxiety in 2023, which are central concerns for many young Chinese. In April of this year, a Chinese youth named Huang Xiaolu resigned from her high-pressure position as a product manager at one of China's largest video streaming companies to dedicate more time to spiritual meditation. Despite facing a less stable income, the 33-year-old has no regrets about resigning, viewing lying flat as a means of taking control of one's life in an uncertain environment. This year, China's youth unemployment rate has surged to a record high of 21%, further eroding confidence in the future. A professor at Peking University estimates that, considering all young people economically dependent on their parents, China's actual youth unemployment rate could be as high as 46.5%. A survey conducted last year found that among nearly 6,000 respondents in China, about 96% knew someone around them who was lying flat to some extent. The concept is particularly appealing among those aged 26 to 40, representing a passive form of resistance in a challenging moment, according to Sylvia Lintner, an anthropologist at the University of Michigan. Don't forget to comment in the section below to share your opinions on today's topic with us. If you find the information helpful, please share this video with a friend to watch together. This will be a great source of motivation for our team to produce more and more quality and reliable videos. And also don't forget to like and subscribe to see more interesting topics from China Truths. Thank you for tuning in.